Okay, we're doing this video to demonstrate how to use a chicken train and a long-handled garden fork to create really beautiful, carbon-rich, fluffy and fertile soil out of whatever soil it is you start with. Now, our soil here, if you have a look, this is what all our soil started off. Very compact, hard, and not a lot of organic matter. You can see that's clay, there's a little bit of topsoil on top. So that's how this started off. Now this section here, we've run the chickens over it a couple of times maybe at the most and aerated it with the fork like this. So it starts to get aerated, but still, look, there's a lot of worms and grubs in there. That's good. The grubs and worms wouldn't have been in here when it was as compacted as it is over there. So we're starting to bring life to the soil. But so this is in transition, obviously. Now we'll walk over to the veggie garden and we'll show you a bit of soil that is further down the track. Okay, so here we are in the veggie garden. I'm going to just, with the three tools that we need, we've got the long-handled garden fork, chicken train, which is 2 enclosures, and the chickens. That's our main tool for building fertility and managing our garden situation. So what I do every day is, that's behind the chicken train, that's the back end, that's fully worked, and this is where we're moving. We're going to head this way and head around. So what I do is I call the chickens, tuk, 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 tuk. Come on girls, and they know I'm going to feed them. So that certified organic pellets I feed them, nothing else. We don't want to encourage any system that uses chemicals and pesticides. So here we go, bit of supplementary feed for them. They're all over there. I just move the chicken train over so that the chickens are moving over onto spent veggie garden bed, onto greens, onto all sorts of insects that are above ground. Come on girls. There they are. Now over here I've got a little gate. They're normally connected together so the chickens can use this as one enclosure. So I'll just close that. That locks them in, and now it allows me to do a little bit of work between the 2 chicken trains. It's 2 enclosures. This is the big difference between a chicken tractor and a chicken train, is there's 2 compartments and it allows me to work in between. So what I'll do is I'll pull it back a little bit onto this area that's already been worked and ready to plant. Give me a bit of space. The width of these chicken trains are about 1 metre, and I use it, all of the garden beds I want to be able to straddle. It's really easy to work this way or to work from either side to get to the centre of the garden bed. So I'll move this back a bit more. So yeah, the chickens are busy eating their food, their supplementary food, plus the greens and insects over there. This allows me to have a bit of do a bit of work in between. So you can see there's lots of grass, weeds, and it's all been trampled, eaten, scratched, pooed on. Fantastic. And so what I want to do is I want to get this garden fork and I want to deeply aerate. There we go, just using the weight of my body. My back is straight, I don't have to bend, it's quite easy. I'm getting that fork way down there. You can see how deep it's going. And then I just go sideways and crack. And what that process is doing, let me do it again. I can feel a rock there. That's hit a rock. Now we're past that rock. Using my body weight, back's nice and straight. Down it goes nice and deep. And what we're doing is we're allowing this living, rich topsoil at the top and all the life that's in it, we're allowing air to go deeper, and as we do this, a little bit of that fertile, living, fluffy rich soil, rich in life, is going down a little bit deeper and deepening the topsoil. The topsoil is the soil with the carbon and the life. Below that in this soil is compacted hard clay. So this is what we're doing, and we're doing it with grace and ease. Okay, so all we're going to do is continue on getting that fork down, cracking it, working from the worked area across to the new area. And there it goes. So we're doing that with the back nice and straight. It's not hard work. We don't have to sweat and work hard. But what I'm going to do next is they're onto the fresh greens here, and all of this green weedy stuff, I want to fluff it up, take it out and put it to the side. Right next to the garden bed, so we're not carting organic matter all over the place. We're moving these plants and weeds or whatever only less than a metre, and we're doing that for a couple of reasons. One, we want to set it up so it's clear for the next lot of vegetables to plant out, and two, we want to expose a little bit of soil for these chickens to now start to be able to feed on worms and grubs that are into the subsoil. Don't know if you can see it from here. Here you go. Bang. Beautiful insect protein there. So all we're doing, we're fluffing it up with the back curve. Nice ergonomic sort of workout. Look at this fork. Look how well that works. We're pulling this sort of stuff out. Give it a shake. Put it on the path. And now that's exposed. Look, there's some of these little grubs. So yeah, we've fluffed it up. We've taken most of the weeds and plants, put them to the side, and now we just connect up the two enclosures so the chooks have got their greens, got their grubs, and then we can work in the back end, further aerating it and preparing it to plant out. There we go. Tuk, 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 tuk. Come on, girls. Come this way. Okay, so we've moved this enclosure. We've done the work in the middle. We've moved the two enclosures back together. The chickens have now got their fresh greens as well as their grubs and soil to work on, and we are now able to work on the back end. So we can do some further forking and aerating depending on the soil, and cracking, just cracking like that. And basically what I want to do now is just rake off most of the weeds, grass, whatever's left there, and put it on off to the side onto the path right next to the bed, where it'll be reincorporated into the soil, and and level it out. There we go. It's a great tool, so multi-purpose. So now that's level and flat, ready to plant. What I basically never do is leave the soil exposed for any length of time. In winter it's not so bad. It allows a bit of sunlight to warm it, but in Australia you really want to keep the direct sun off the soil. We want to, it dries it out and it kills the life of the soil. So what I'm going to do in this case is I'm going to get some seed mix, winter seed of lettuce, daikon radish, rocket. It's got some rice hulls mixed in with it just to give it a bit of a carrier, basically. I'm going to lightly sprinkle the whole area with a seed. And no matter what happens, we might harvest some, but what at worst comes to worst, there'll be a green manure crop for the chickens to feed on. Anyway, what I'll do then is I'll just tamp it down with my boot to get really good seed to soil contact, which is really important for germination. And then I will get some decomposed wood chips or mature wood chips and give what I call a feather mulch. And this light mulch is basically just to give the seeds a little bit of shelter, a little bit of a little microclimate, a little bit of shade. It just helps them. It just helps with germination and keeping a little bit of diversity in the soil in terms of shade, shelter from wind, etc. And there it is, a light feather mulch. Now that'll grow up. I may thin it down. Let's have a look at this area here. This is the sort of thing it ends up with. And as they grow, if they're a little bit overcrowded, we can throw down some more wood chips to block certain areas and basically thin it out. Because anything that grows up too thick and too crowded will not be healthy. So, as I said, once the seedlings start to come up, we can throw more wood chips down to discourage overcrowding, basically. And every time we do this wood chips we get from chipping trees in the forest and in our system that are overabundant, and it's all going back into building soil carbon, slowing the water down and building the life of this system. So that's it. An introduction to the chicken train in the vegetable garden system.